I'm Laurence Hoffmeister and I play wide receiver.
Nat Eaves, running back.
My name's Tolu, I play running back.
Richard Swain, play left tackle on the offensive line.
I'm Kersey, I'm the president, GM, general dog's body for the Leicester Falcons. Normal training session starts with me posting it up on our team pages just to get everybody to commit to it, and then it's a week of me making sure everybody gets to it. Then the coaches put the training plans together. Then it's opening up, getting all the equipment out, and then finally into the actual training itself. And we've been very good this year. One of the reasons why we were so successful was because of the great turnout we had, and we kept it very competitive training as well. It's been one of our successes was definitely the quality of training that we were doing each week. Specifically for the final, it was a case of reviewing the film, and what we determined was that the talent that we had within ourselves, if we focused on playing our best game, then we would be good enough to win that game. It wasn't so much about scheming to beat Newcastle, it was about being able to deliver our best game. So it was repping, repetition, which is what training often is. Each group within the team has its own positional coach. So I coach running backs. I had the delight of having Tolu and Nat to both manage, control, bounce off each other, feed their competitive nature. This year we had such a great depth, so it allowed us to we didn't so much, certainly with the running backs, we didn't really have starters and backups. We just had different players for different scenarios.
I was watching it on TV and I just thought I wanted to give it a go. I was playing rugby before and I was fed up of just getting knocked around all the time and not getting down the pitch like I wanted to. I look at quite a few players in the team. We've got a good quality team this year. Tolu, Pete, Pam, Vlad, Jamar, Simon, the centre. I think I like people who lead by example. American football gives you the best chance to express yourself on the pitch, and that's what I like doing.
Double coverage? No. Right. Vikings head coach has decided he's going to step down after this game. Okay? So let's make it a big, disappointing ride back to fucking Newcastle, okay? I don't want to just beat them, I want to destroy them, okay? How many times have we gone over 50 points this year?
No, too many.
How many? Too many to count, okay? How many times have our defence scored had more than 10 points scored against them? Twice. So let's not give them a hat-trick, okay? You boys are good enough, let's go out there, destroy them.
Well, I was quick already and I had missed the football trials, so I just said let me go over for trials and then just started playing it and I liked it. I go to uni, that's first and foremost, and I play for the uni team, the Derby Braves. I study motorsport engineering, just trying to get a degree, make a living. Nat's he's alright, Nat's my guy. But players I look up to, I would say Palm and Vlad. Mainly, I'll probably say Pete. Pete's my guy.
years ago when, in those kind of dark days when you're going, you're getting frustrated and it's hard work and you're tired, and you think, oh, why do I bother? And it's people like Rich Swain who you keep it going for, because it means so much to him, and it means if you took football away from him, it would really hurt him. So again, one of the great stories was what he went through in the latter half of the year, and with his medical condition and fighting back from that.
I had a tooth extracted and got a massive infection. My neck kind of expanded to almost look like that Goblin King in The Hobbit. So it was quite a worrying moment. I had to have emergency surgery. They had to drain out all the infection. I had a couple of holes put in the inside of my neck and the outside.
And then hunting around the hospital afterwards, I find him in intensive care, and he's in life-threatening condition. So it was horrifying, and he no longer became a concern about a player and the fitness of a player. It became about the welfare of a friend.
I didn't know if I'd make the final. I was really hoping I'd be back for the quarterfinals and the semi-finals, etc. first, but I was just knackered. Took everything out of me, my strength, my fitness, and the hole in my neck took quite a while to heal up as well.
But we knew that Nat would be pivotal in keeping him fit and keeping him healthy. So we rested him between the semi-final and the final quite a lot in practice, because he was carrying some injuries.
First game, I just took the ball up the middle. I thought everything was okay, and I got a bump on my elbow. And I thought, oh, it's just a bruise. It'll go away in a few weeks. And then for about 6 weeks later, I carried on playing. And about 6 weeks later, the missus convinced me to go for an X-ray. And went down there and broken my elbow, fractured it clean off. It was like, yeah, I was upset. I didn't want to. I missed a few training sessions, and it absolutely killed me. And it even brought me to tears at one point. When I watched Tolu bust up Lincoln, and I thought to myself, I'm not having him to have all the fun here.
Laurence's stats going into the game were one passing route, one reception, 43 yards, one broken wrist.
First game of the season, first time I caught the ball. Running downfield, got tackled, and as I fell, the ground was hard as I fell, and I was a bit worried about cracking back of my head. So I put my hand down just to ease my fall. Ended up snapping my wrist in 3 places. Had to have surgery. I've got wires and stuff still in it. I have to play strapped up now every game. So I was out for about 12 to 16 weeks.
In hindsight, he steps out of bounds, he doesn't get injured. But he's a competitor and he's fighting for extra yard. And when your physio turns around to you and goes, "Oof," you don't really want to look at that. It's it's going to be bad.
At some points, I was a bit concerned that I wasn't going to be back in time for playoffs or the final, but I managed to get in just before playoffs and get training again, get some game time, and then, although I didn't have a major role as I'd hoped, I was able to play a bit during the final and the playoffs.
It was heartbreaking because he'd worked really hard in the off-season, worked really hard at DMU, and got to the point where he could transition from uni football into senior football, and he was there on merit, absolutely there on merit, and has got a lot of talent. Needs to get on my diet, I think, a little bit more. I surprisingly enjoyed cooking breakfast for the team, which was an interesting start to a finals game. It's all part of it. I mean, we do things like the breakfast and the length of the day, and how we do it is it's all thought about in carefully, because it's about giving people. It looks like we're just doing it as a way of just giving a bit of fun, but it's about making sure they eat properly before a game, so they're not, stuffing their face with sweets and chocolate in order to get energy. They're actually getting a proper meal, so they're getting energy before. It brings the team together. It's cohesiveness. It's starting the bonding process from a very early point throughout the day.
I think the whole team was full of confidence. You know, we don't go win so many games and not build confidence throughout the team. Yeah, that's what I felt like. I thought we've got this. All we've got to do is just turn up and we just go roll over them.
The team we had, the way we've been playing, the mentality we had, I didn't think there was any chance we could lose. I didn't see anyone in our division that could beat us. And to be fair, the team we had and the way we're playing, I didn't really think many people in the division above would stand a chance against us. We were just too strong with the ball and without the ball, so I never really saw us losing.
Yeah, I'm never scared we're gonna lose. I'm one of them guys where I never feel under pressure, but like I've noticed in the American football community that it's all serious and it's like they're proper down to it. They're like, oh, if you're not serious, you're not gonna win. Like I feel that sometimes that can be a bad thing because it can scare players. I'm one of them guys that I'm always joyful before a game.
I think there was a few doubts. You don't want to get your hopes up too much and then it all comes crashing down. You err on the side of caution. And then for the younger players that have come in and we're winning every game, we're scoring all these points, it's amazing. It's like, whoa, what's going on? I think I was more with the younger players on this. There was no chance we were going to lose.
Certainly when you're going into a game where the other team has got a great record as well. I knew a lot of those guys. I was confident, but you never think that it's a foregone conclusion against anybody. So yeah, there was nerves. But what was great was, from a GM point of view, is we'd already secured promotion by getting to the final. So for me, our goal had already been achieved to get into the next level. So in some respects the pressure was off for the final, so it allowed everybody to relax and just enjoy themselves and just play their natural game.
Everyone was going into it having the feeling that if we go in with the mentality that we're going to win no matter what, that we'd lose. Everyone was very humble and gave Newcastle a chance, but you could tell deep down everyone was excited and everyone knew that it was going to be a big game and we were going to do it.
Pretty much from the first 2 or 3 plays, the first 2 series, I think I couldn't see us losing from that point where, you know, Pete Cleaver made an interception on their first play. The defense stepped up again and got a safety, and you know, we were marching down the field, and it was. I think by the end of the first quarter, it was fairly confident. It was confident we were going to take the game.
It was one of those years, I think. Although people are they go, oh, you had an easy division. You had the teams we played against weren't up to scratch. They weren't the strongest opposition. You were just running points in. It's how you came together as a team that we kept putting those points on. We could have took the gas off. We could have eased up on people, thrown in all the second string, not given anyone, or we could have kept the first team in, all the starters, and just really ran up points. But we gelled as a team, we gelled as units, we went out, we worked, the defence were outstanding, the offence, you know, they were unstoppable when they got the ball in the hand.
Yeah, when you go to half-time, that's what you have to do, because you never know, they could turn out a different game plan in the second half, so you've always got to be on your toes, but you just got to execute. That's what you have to do, is keep doing your job.
Let's take a team warm-up, let the people in the stands see us as a team. Do we understand? Yes, let's do it, fellas. Go enjoy the second half and go home champions, fellas.
I think the great thing about American football is very pivotal moments in games. And games, we always talk about an ebb and flow of games, and you can be up 1 minute and down another minute. And the trick is to keep confident and keep level throughout, and ride the downs and enjoy the ups. So we went from being 17-0 up to 24-0 up, and I think at that point, and the timing of that was so critical that it really swung the game. And for us, I think it really killed off Newcastle. So that dressing room at half-time was a very confident, very up place. So I think if we'd gone in there at 17, I think it would have been very different. I still think we'd have been quite nervous, but we just went in there second half and we just relaxed and, you know, enjoyed the rest of the game.
It's a sport where things can change real quick. So we could have been thinking that, but no one's going to express it, because that's what can make us lose. So we have to still go out there thinking, it's 0-0. We still have to grind for this win. Like, we haven't won it yet. It's just half time. Like, we scored this much in the first half, they can score the exact same back in the second half.
Well, I think it was, you know, all the coaches had a very simple, you know, head coach Leicester, Hopewell and Noel Cesar and various all the other coaches, Stuart Franklin. You know, they all have their individual things to say, but it was very much a case of, you know, when you go into a half-time in a final 24-0 up, there's not a lot to say other than keep your focus and, you know, keep doing what you're doing. You know, your key thing is to not break anything and not change anything unnecessarily. I started getting a bit worried for injuries. We were picking up towards the latter half of the game. We were starting to pick up a few injuries. Tom Jarrett, you know, popped his AC joint in his shoulder. You know, Danny Burton twisted his ankle or his knee. Rich Swain, who'd come off a really tough time, he was in intensive care 4 weeks before the final. And in the end he twisted his ankle. At one point we had Palmer's finger was sideways at that point. Vlad sliced his arm open. Who else? Oh yeah, Jordan Mannion popped his thumb. There was just a lot of injuries. It was just that at that point you know the game's safe and you're more concerned about the welfare of you guys at that point. It was amazing. There was such a sense of relief as well. I think everybody goes through this, is that you put so much work into it over the year, and you're filled with emotion at the end. Partly the joy of winning, but partly just the relief that you've got there, and it was tremendous. You know, I one of the benefits of being comfortably in the lead in a final is you get a chance to take all your wallet and phones and everything out of your pockets before you get dunked with water. It's to see how much it meant to everybody else as well, and just spending time with it. Just spending time. We were out on that field for a long time. I don't think any of us wanted to leave it at that point, because it was such a joyous place, and it was seeing people just almost wandering off on their own and just having a quiet moment to themselves on the field, just to reflect and look around and take it all in, because you know those types of experiences don't come along that often. So you know, we said to them, you know, enjoy every moment, because you never know when the next one's going to be. that's the part of being, of putting together a good organisation and a good coaching, is it isn't just about having one set standards type of coaching where if you're just a shouter, then like kids, if you're a parent, if you just shout at a kid all the time, eventually you tune them out. They tune you out. So sometimes you have to cajole them, sometimes you have to put your arm around them, sometimes you have to just pump them full of positive vibes. Other times you do need to give them a kick up the backside and then sometimes you need to challenge them. So yeah, it's all about the individual and how you get the best out. Our job as coaches so my job as a GM is to provide the coaches with the raw material to create the team, and then the coaches mould that raw material into a great team.
They're like family, they look after us on and off the pitch, they care about us doing well on the pitch, and they care about our personal life as well. Real family.